Welcome back to Theater History Thursdays. Have you ever heard Bobby Darin's song, Mac the Knife? Do you know what its inspiration was? Well, today's topic is Brechtian theater. Brechtian theater is a style of performance that refers to the work of Bertolt Brecht, a German playwright and theater practitioner born in 1898. Some of Brecht's most notable plays include The Threepenny Opera, the villain from which was the inspiration for Mac the Knife, and Mother Courage and Her Children. Brecht's theater was deeply influenced by Marxist policies, and he sought to cultivate a standard of politically charged theater that challenged audiences rather than providing escapism. Brechtian theater distances the audience from emotional involvement in a play, making them always aware that they're watching something artificial. Brecht achieved this continual reminder of theatricality primarily through non-naturalistic acting choices and staging. Epic theater is what Brecht is most known for. Some of his signature techniques included the V effect, or the Verfremdungseffekt, which roughly translates to the alienation or distancing effect, though neither is a perfect translation. Elements include breaking the fourth wall, using captions to describe location or time, and having actors speak of their characters in the third person. By reminding audiences that they're in the artificial environment of the theater, Brecht hoped to stimulate audiences to reflect critically on the real world around them and ultimately be moved towards social action. Just as the world on stage was constructed, so too was the outside world, meaning that change was possible. Though Brecht himself didn't use the term political theater, his work set an important tone for political theater to come, by centering class struggle and the dangers of fascism in much of his text. Similarly to agitprop theater, he desired audiences to not view themselves as passive spectators and wanted them to recognize their own agency. When the Nazis came to power, Brecht fled from Germany and ended up in California, where he began working as a screenwriter. In 1947, Brecht was investigated by the House Un-American Activities Committee for suspected communist ties. Ultimately, he left the U.S. as a result and continued his career in Zurich. In 1949, he moved to East Berlin, where he established his theater company, the Berliner Ensemble, and spent his last years. Our upcoming March production, It Can Happen Here, follows the story of Hallie Flanagan's work with the Federal Theater Project. Stylistically, the piece features the political messaging and structure that's signature in Brechtian theater, and the real historical material couples with the distancing of no fourth wall to create an experience that's easily identifiable as epic theater. We look forward to sharing It Can Happen Here with you in March. That's all for Brechtian theater. Make sure to stay tuned for more theater history next week with new perspectives.